Gina, it's just you and me today.
Oh, no. You mean I only get to talk to you today?
Well, is that okay?
Well, I guess it's going to have to be.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Well, I think we've got plenty to talk about, so let's just do it.
We absolutely do. Welcome to The Riveted with Chris and Gina.
Hey, everybody, and welcome. Chris and I are going to start today off a little differently than we normally do. We had a hurricane come through from Florida up through Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia this week, and it has created some devastation, and we just wanted to briefly talk to everyone about it if we could.
Yeah, we absolutely are affected by it in lots of different ways. Not as affected as everyone that's in the middle of it and has had such terrible
Devastation.
Mm-hmm. But we are originally from North Carolina. We enjoyed Western North Carolina our entire life, and to just know and see what is going on there now is just terrible. And we wanted to just talk a little bit about it here at the beginning of this and make sure we expressed our thoughts and
empathize with the people that are there.
For sure.
Totally the landscape has completely changed in this area, and lives are going to be affected, from now on because of this, and it saddens us and breaks our heart, and we wish so much that we could do more to help the people there, but just keep everybody in your thoughts and know that they're struggling in Western North Carolina, as well as other states out there, Chris. I think Florida was hit hard.
Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, yeah. North Carolina. I mean, it went all the way up into the Midwest, obviously, but, when you look at the reports and see how far inland it came as still a Category 2, and then you see all the rain that happened before the storm ever even hit, and then the storm itself, lots of places, lots of people were affected, and it's just terrible. We're familiar with hurricanes and tropical systems. We've gone through a lot of them in our lifetime so far, living in Carolina, and even we lived in Texas for a short time and had a major Category 3 hit us down there. So
now you're making it sound like we're the problem.
It could be. Who knows?
It follows us.
But anyway, we just it's shocking, and we wanted to just acknowledge it, obviously, and let everybody know what we've got on our mind. So we also wanted to take a minute to at least talk about how we, as full-time travelers in our Airstream, decided to protect ourselves, or at least prepare to stay out of the path of the hurricane, and try to just share our strategy in hopes of helping somebody else in the future.
So the thing about hurricanes versus like tornadoes or fires or something like that is that you are given, a lot of notice. And even if it's just 24 hours or so, it's still plenty of notice for, like us, for instance. Our home is on wheels, and we can make a judgment call of an area that we could probably escape where the hurricane is headed. And that's what we did. Yep. We looked ahead at the projected path of the hurricane, and then we chose to take our rig to the opposite direction that we could to be safe.
Where we've been situated the past little bit is we're a little north of Charlotte, North Carolina, and where we've got our Airstream parked is actually plugged in 50 amp power underneath an aluminum cover, like a lot of RVs are parked under, and we no flood area where we are, that kind of stuff. But we're totally surrounded by huge mature oak trees in multiple directions, and we were just concerned with all the rain that had already happened and what was projected, and the fact that we weren't sure what the winds were going to be. We just didn't want to be under these oak trees. So I
Well, the yard that these oak trees were in, I need to interject, was that before the hurricane was, it was still like a day away. And these yards were already so saturated that they look like little ponds. And when you have that and the ground is not soaking that water in, it releases the root system, I think, or makes it weaker. And that made us nervous, and we thought, if nothing else, let's get away from the trees.
Yeah, so I hitched up and we pulled out from under the trees, and then I thought, well, I'm not just going to sit out in the elements of the tropical storm or hurricane, whatever it's going to be. So I looked at the path and just had to make an educated guess and decided to head east. So we went about 150 miles east of where we thought the cone of our track was going to be, and got out of the tropical storm conditions. And then we basically just sat in a Walmart parking lot for a day and a half. And it was, our way to try to control, at least in a little bit, the ability to stay away from a storm. And we had one small thunderstorm band that came through, but nothing compared to what had happened in western North Carolina. And then fortunately, when we did get back, no major tree falls, no big limbs, no major damage. So, on our end, we averted anything like that. But, we just felt like if we can move, it's better to be safe than sorry. So that's what we did. And it was just our strategy. So we thought we'd share that with everybody. I mean, given the storm path from storm to storm and where you're located and, possible ways to move, every scenario is different. But that's what we decided to do. We didn't want to stay still and just let whatever happened.
Right. And we hope that you out there were safe during the storm and you were able to move if you needed to, or your friends and family. But today we wanted to take just a few minutes to say that we do empathize and feel with all the people that have been affected because of this hurricane. It will take years, like I said, and know that we're all thinking about you.
For sure. So we've got a lot of other subjects we want to talk about on this episode. We got some fun stuff to recap and news to share. So we're going to do that. But real quick, we're going to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back.
The open road, the smell of the trees and fire outside, mountain peaks and rivers, and not being in a hurry to get anywhere. Every camping trip is a treasure trove of memories. But where do we seamlessly weave them together without the clutter of multiple tools and the drama of today's social platforms? Enter camping.tools, the ultimate travel journal that empowers you to plan, capture, and share together. From the first plan to the last shared memory, camping.tools is there, saving every adventure to be relived time and again. Camping.tools. Available for download at the Apple and Google Play stores.
And we're back.
First off, everyone, we'd like to thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Today's is our 8th episode, and it's really funny how quick this has, the past 8 weeks has gone by, because it seems like we were just getting started, and here we are recording number 8. But just to recap, for those of you who maybe haven't listened to the past 7, we have had people from Airstream Club on. We've had full-timers on. We've had newbies on. Just, we're all over the place. And what's really, I think, is kind of cool about it all is we didn't do this intentionally, but I think we've covered like 5 or 6 states in these episodes. So like Indiana, I know that we've had South Carolina, North Carolina, California, even Utah, people from all of these states on to talk. And we didn't plan it that way. It's
don't forget Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we got, the youngest president ever of the Vintage Airstream Club was on with us. James, he's from Virginia. Cool guy, and the future of Airstream. Yeah, so lots of interesting different episodes and lots of fun doing them.
It is, and we've got so much more coming up. we especially have more Airstream stories, of course, coming, and some pretty unique ones. Some even involve royalty, I think. So that'll be interesting. But even with that, we're going to blend in some RV industry related topics coming up and a few special surprises, I think.
Yeah, we have holiday surprises coming up.
We do.
Yeah. And, was I supposed to say that?
You can. You just can't describe them. You can't tell what it is. They got to listen.
So I said it, but I can't tell them about it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
You gave them the hint, but you're not telling them the details. I like that.
Gina likes surprises, everybody. So,
I love surprises.
Yeah. So anyway, we got a lot more to come, and we also need you, listener, to join in on the fun. One of the main concepts of this podcast is to have conversations with other Airstream owners. So we give you an open invitation to reach out to us and say that you'd like to come on and chat with us on a future episode. We would love to host you and do that. The way you get in touch with us is either through info@therivetedfox.com, our email address that goes straight to Gina and I, or from our website, therivetedfox.com. We have a get in touch page with a contact form that you can fill out, and that comes straight to me or Gina, either one, and we'll get back in touch with you and set up a time. We have a cool way to record remotely through the internet. It captures good quality audio on your sides and make it simple for you. So we invite you to come on in.
But even if you maybe are a little nervous about it and, kind of want to listen to a few more episodes before you come on and chat with us, what about someone you know? Maybe you could introduce us to someone that you know has an epic story. That works as well, doesn't it?
Any and the above.
Come join us. We want you. Yeah. We want you. I love it.
And all are welcome. It doesn't have to be, somebody that's a veteran Airstreamer. It doesn't have to be a member, a longstanding member of the Airstream Club. Anybody that owns an Airstream, has a passion for the brand, is more than welcome to come in and have a chat with us.
So if someone just picked up their Airstream this morning, that would be okay?
That would be an awesome conversation to have.
It would be.
That would be super fun.
What if they've owned an Airstream for 125 million years?
That's impossible, but it still would be pretty
cool.
It
would work.
Yeah, any and all. So
yeah, we want to hear your stories. I know that they have got to be amazing, so please come share them with us.
Yep. And speaking of how to get in touch with us, our website's been around for a while. We've had a community of friends grow over the years, and it's got a lot of good information about, fun things we've done. It's got a place on there for access to the podcast.
I know one page in particular that I absolutely love is the events page. That's where all the action happens, which we need to talk about really quick, Chris, and that is our camp out that we had scheduled for next week.
Yeah, we had the Riveted Rendezvous 2024 planned starting next week, October 8th, and it was going to be in Marion, North Carolina, in some of the major affected areas of the hurricane. So that got canceled, and obviously rightly so. It was just devastated through that area, and we had people coming in from all over the country. But we will, as soon as we can, get that rescheduled to get everybody together. But next topic to talk about is we went to an Airstream rally.
We did. It was so much fun.
It was one of the first ones we'd been to in a good little while, because we've been traveling outside of the Southeast for a while, and we're part of the Carolina's Airstream Club, and we've missed a lot of their events. But this particular rally was a multi-club rally in the Southeast. It was called the Carolina Mt Jamboree. I think there were 5 different clubs participating in it, and it was held in Cleveland, South Carolina, at the Palmetto Cove RV Park.
That's just at the base of the Caesar Mountain State Park, right?
Caesar's Head State Park.
Head, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And beautiful landscape. It's in the far northern part of South Carolina. And this particular park is awesome. It's got a pavilion that has got a huge section of chairs and rocking chairs and everything. And you can just sit there and look at the mountain, and the rally field full of all the Airstreams is down just below, and great location.
It's like my favorite spot. And I like to get up in the mornings and go grab a cup of coffee and go sit in the rocking chair and just watch as everyone else is starting to wake up and come out. And they have the mountain behind the Airstreams, maybe a little bit of fog. I mean, it's an amazing spot. Love it.
It is good. And there were right at 60 Airstreams there, and got to reconnect with some folks we hadn't seen for a while that we knew, and met a lot of new friends as well. And it's a blast. The way that the park's laid out is really convenient for us to go on morning walks, and so we're trying to go and do our morning walk, mile or whatever around.
That doesn't always work so well.
No, because people are coming out of their trailers and you're stopping and visiting, and so to walk a mile takes an hour and a half because you've got you're stopping to visit. But
that's the best part.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we did that.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we actually had some loose pigs come through the campground, didn't we? Little black pigs.
We're walking around the park, and we look off where one trailer is, and there's pigs in front of it. And we're like, oh my gosh, surely somebody does not have pet pigs that they brought. And it wasn't. They were loose, but 2 little black pigs.
They were cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
they were having a big time.
Yeah.
And the dogs didn't bother them, and they didn't bother the dogs. That was fun.
It was fun. So anyway, had a lot of fun at the rally, and look forward to more in the future. We got a couple more this fall that we're going to go to, and it's always fun to hang out and reconnect. We have got some folks that we reconnected with there that's going to be on some of our future episodes, and look forward to that too. So yeah, it was a fun rally.
Fun stuff coming up too.
We do have one last exciting piece of information to share. We now have the Riveted Fox community on Patreon, and there's a cool way for everybody to stay up close and personal with us and follow along with the podcast and connect and things like that, as well as our community as a whole. And we are going to leave you with this episode with a small little word about Patreon.
So thanks again, listener, for being here and supporting the podcast and listening to Chris and I as we interview some Airstreamers and get those perfect stories. See you down the road.
Hey everyone, I want to take a moment to tell you about Patreon and how you can help support the Riveted Fox community. Patreon is a simple, interactive way to support the people who make the content you love. The Riveted Fox community has always been and always will be free. There's no value that can be assigned to this community of RV lovers that we've built from all corners of the USA. But there are associated costs with operating our website, creating our podcast, in addition to the large amounts of time it takes to create and plan our online and in-person events. For $5 a month, the equivalent of a cup of coffee or a beer, you can support the Riveted Fox community, continuing to be a great social resource for you. In addition to help keep the community up and running, becoming a Patreon also means invites to special Zoom-based hangouts, first to know details of events, free merch, and so much more. Gina and I thank you for your love and support. Peace.